Welcome back to Unit 3, Lesson 2, Customary Units of Liquid Volume. The lesson focus is to use customary units of volume. So customary means standard, like things that we know. You're not just using any random measurement, like a spoon or whatever. You're actually using measurements that have been defined that we say, okay, we all know. So a cup, fluid ounce, pint, quart, gallon. This is all liquid volume. So liquid volume means how much liquid can you put in a container. Now, remember the vocabulary now, you can go on Blackboard before you even watch this video, and you should be familiar with the vocabulary and looking at the pictures, because that kind of helps as well. Because we use these in all sorts of things, like cup. I use a measuring cup in liquid, the clear ones, like when I'm putting milk to make muffins, or even when I make oatmeal, it says to put so much like milk, or to put like half a cup of milk or water in there. Fluid ounce, I'm gonna need to know that when I make pickles baby bottles. We've got pint, and whatever I get like heavy whipping cream. I don't need a huge amount, but I use it for some of the soups, or half and half, and they usually come in like little pints. Quart, you can usually buy like a quart of oil for your car. Gallon, the one you know the most of is a gallon of milk. So think of what your milk container looks like. If you get the big one, that's a gallon. If you get the smaller one, it's a half gallon. So first thing is that let's look at all these. So we start with our biggest, which is a gallon, okay? Then we've got that smaller milk, which is a half gallon. And then we've got the quart, which you can actually get, like if you get the cardboard containers of milk. Then we've got a pint of milk, which is a little bigger. And then a cup of milk would be like what you get at lunch. Now, if you look down here, this tells you it takes 2 cups, so 2 of these to equal 1 of these. It takes 2 of these to equal 1 of these. Okay? It takes 2 quarts to equal 1 half gallon. And then it takes 2 half gallons to equal a gallon. Okay? Now, some of you have done Gallon Man and some of you haven't. And so if you haven't done Gallon Man, then you'll see him later. I've actually put him also on Blackboard, so you can see a picture. There's also a really cute poem that goes with it as well. And it shows you, if a recipe said that you needed a gallon and all you have is a measuring cup, well, how many do I need? 16. You find a lot of these conversion charts like this in cookbooks, at the beginning of cookbooks, that will help you out. For instance, like the one I always remember is 2 cups is a pint, because I use a big cup for my milk. So if it ever calls for a pint, I know I can just use that big cup. So that's one of the equivalents I always remember. So the first activity we're doing is you're going to choose the best unit. So how would you measure the liquid volume? Okay, you've got cup, pint, quart, or gallon. So let's think of a carton of heavy cream. So I just talked about that. They usually come in smaller. You're not going to get a gallon. Ooh. Heavy cream, I couldn't even imagine using a gallon of heavy cream. So you're going to use the smaller one. So it could be either cup or a pint, okay? Now let's think of a swimming pool. Even if you have a baby pool, it's still, you are not going to measure it in cups. You're going to think about, because it is big, you want to use the biggest one, which would be gallon. Now think of your flour base. Like a basic flour base is probably going to be like a cup or a pint as well. Because they're usually not that big. Because that would be a lot of flours if it was bigger than a cup or a pint. Now you might have to use 2 cups or maybe 2 pints, but you know, if you start with like a huge gallon jug of water, you're not going to put all of it into that base. And then a wash tub. So a wash tub is like smaller. It's not a bathtub. A wash tub would be like just a small like silver bucket that you would put, that they used to wash babies in, but you could wash clothes in or something. Now people sometimes use it like to put ice in, when you have like a barbecue for, with sodas in it and stuff. So the wash tub, they're not gigantic, so you could actually either use a quart or a gallon. Now, as you see, there's some that you could use. I mean, could you technically measure a swimming pool in cups? Sure, but I wouldn't want that job. I mean, so use the tool that is most appropriate for the job at hand, okay? Now, on this same page, which is 163 in your SAB book, we've got our favorite puzzled penguin. And he says, "Dear math students, today I had to choose the best unit to use to measure how much water is needed to fill a kitchen sink. I said the best unit to use is cups. Is my answer correct? If not, please correct my work and tell me what I did wrong." Well, what do you think? I mean, a kitchen sink's pretty big. Would you want to fill it with cups? I mean, you could even go home, or we could try it in our sink here. I mean, if you just took like a cup measurement and you put it in the sink, it wouldn't even cover the whole bottom of it. So would you really want to measure it in cups? I would think I'd want to use something bigger. So when you're working on this, I want you to write a complete sentence at least saying what you'd use and why. Because I don't think cup is the best measurement. Don't worry about problem number 6 in your math journal. We do our math prompt later. Okay, so now if you turn to page 164 in your SAB book, you'll see it says estimate customary units of liquid. So this, now we're not choosing what would be the best one, but how much we think would something hold. So a baby bottle. Do you think a baby is going to drink 2 cups, or do you think they're going to drink 2 quarts? Okay, if we went back to that original picture, a quart is 4 cups. Okay, I know me personally, I only drink 2 cups of milk at dinner time. So I know I have a bigger stomach than a baby, so I'm guessing they're only going to drink 2 cups. So that baby bottle would be pretty big if it was, or 1 quart, sorry, is 4 cups. So that would be 8 cups. I mean, that's a lot. So I would say 2 cups. Now let's think about a fish tank. 5 cups of water. I think your fish would really want a little more water. So would you measure it in 5 cups or 5 gallons? And usually when you go to the fish store or the pet store, you can buy special water for the tanks, and they come in like milk jugs or water jugs. So I'm going to do gallons. Okay, so I want you to finish off this page. You can pause this and look and see what would probably be the best, okay? You can go back to the picture that I showed you first and see what the conversions are, so you can kind of put into perspective, what do you have? What do you drink? So, I mean, would it be reasonable, okay? Okay. Now we have some problems, and they want you to use the drawings. So use the drawing to represent and solve the problem. A painter mixed 5 pints of yellow paint Unfortunately, I don't have yellow, but I do have this pink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, oh, it's hard to tell. Okay. So this is all gonna be, pretend it's yellow. Okay. And now, and then 3 cups of, or 3 pints of blue paint. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now, how many pints of green paint did he make? Because yellow and blue make green. So I would think, well, I could count the lines here and use this drawing, or I could also do 5 plus 3 equals 8 pints. Okay? So now look at this one. It says Ryan bought a bottle of orange juice that had 16 fluid ounces. He poured 6 fluid ounces in a cup. How many fluid ounces are left? Well, as you can see, each line actually stands for 2. So let's do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So it was filled up to here. And he poured out 6. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now how many do I have left? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 2 is 10 ounces. Okay, finish the rest of this page. I also put this one, which is the back of the page. It's 166. This is just like the last page. Use the drawings to solve it, and you can finish this page. Now, when you are done, make sure to complete your homework in remembering and to do one of the writing prompts. Okay? I'll see you with the next unit.